Hey, John Schneider's YouTube channel. I got a question from Bolton Biggs. Bolton Biggs. His question was, how do we make the General Lee glow in the Ghost of General Lee? And also, whoa, how do we deal with the rattlesnake under the seat? Well, back in the old days of Dukes, we shot film. You know, everybody shoots digitally now. So back in those days, we shot on a Panavision camera or an Aeroflex camera. Whenever we did dialogue and all that sort of thing, we used a Panavision. And we ran 35 millimeter film through the Panavision. When we had to do a special effect like making the General Lee glow, all we could do on the set was light it, make it bright, and keep the background dark. So you'd put up a light and shine the light on the vehicle, but then block the light from the background of the vehicle. And I believe when we did that, we hung a big black piece of material behind the General Lee. But then we had to send it out for what is called an optical, which could take as long as 3 days, actually minimum of 3 days, before we'd get an optical back. Now imagine, an optical is also a crossfade, something you can do on your camera, where you fade from one shot to the other. You can do that anytime you want. You can test it. You can put it anywhere you want. In those days, you had to know exactly where you wanted it, how many frames on either side, and send it out to be done. So that's how we did that. We sent, well, it wasn't me, it was the post-production coordinator and our head editor, Russ Livingston, would send the film out for an optical effect. So that effect was done later. The General Lee was not actually glowing when we looked at it. And by the way, the ropes and the cables we were pulling didn't go anywhere either. That was done with people in the trunk pushing it up and pulling it down. It was pretty funny. Now, as far as the rattlesnake goes, it was a real rattlesnake. That's how we did it. I don't mind snakes. Whew. Glad that's over. I don't mind snakes. I don't like to come up on them in the wild, but the rattlesnake we had in the bag underneath the seat of the General Lee was actually a rattlesnake. It had been milked, so it had no venom, and it had been sutured on either side of its mouth, so it could not bite unless, you know, the sutures broke. So when that rattlesnake, and I think it was a big one, I think it had like 12 rattles on it. When that rattlesnake was around my feet driving the General Lee, I wasn't driving really. They were pushing the bag with the rattlesnake closer to my feet, and they had a camera down there. It's kind of hard to put a camera way down there. There was no such thing as a GoPro yet. So they put the camera down there, and then the rattlesnake actually got closer and closer to my feet. So we really did it. So there you go, Bolton Biggs. I hope that helped you with your childhood questions, and keep them coming, folks. I try to do these every couple of days, and who knows, next one might be yours. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also go and like my Facebook page. I would appreciate it. You guys and girls, take care as always. Yeehaw! By the way, I'm at the Indian dealership in New Orleans, having a great time. You be good. Bye. Where's the button? I know on this.